All right, we're gonna get into this knife tonight. We're gonna do some testing on it. We're gonna do some normal testing, maybe a little abnormal testing, and then some vicious, violent testing. But we're gonna do a bunch of stuff with this knife. I want to have fun with it, and then I want to see if it is in fact useful at all. I don't know. I haven't done anything with it yet, except carry it to Walmart and scare the produce guy. Let's get into this. Alright, so what you know, this is the KRIS Voyager. We put on my glasses here. It's from Cold Steel, of course. I'm going to go ahead and give you a close-up of the specs there. Can you read that? Did it focus in? Alright, so you can pause that, check out those specs. We're getting to little specs here, not too much. Most of all, I want to check it out. I like knives that are fun, but I want the knife to be at least a little bit useful. It doesn't have to be the greatest at everything it does, but it has to be a little bit useful. So we're going to check this out. Now, if your whole jam is stabbing people, you picked the right knife. This thing is just going to stab the freak out of somebody. And it's going to do it in style. Because the guy's going to be like, oh man, I thought you were going to stab me with like a regular, you were going to come in there with some kind of CKRT, and no man, you're going to stab me. I'm really happy to be stabbed with that wavy KRIS blade from Cold Steel. He's probably not going to do that. He's going to be worried about the innard problems he's having. But check that out, now that I've ruined the whole video talking about stabbing people's innards. This thing is awesome. Of course, it's 5.5 inches. We're going to have to look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 inches of AUS 10A, which is a really good steel. We beat the mess out of several AUS 10A knives, and it's held up nicely. So all you knife snobs, keep on moving. There's no knife snobbery on this place. This thing's going to do whatever you need it to. Because if you're like, one time I was stabbing hobos and that AUS 10A just really ruined it for me, and I had to go do some stropping between hobo stabbing. Well, yeah, okay. Then just leave your comment down there if it got in the way of your hobo stabbing. But on this knife, AUS 10A is more than enough for what this knife is for. This is like a self-defense knife mostly. Now I'm going to try it out and see if it's useful in other ways. But you buy this knife, it is not because you're looking for a kitchen chopper. It's not because you're looking for something. This is just a really, really cool looking self-defense, better knife than the next guy. Pull it out at a party and shock folks kind of knife. And for that reason, it's worth enough buying right there, especially for knife nut folks. If you got the rest of the Voyagers, and you got the Tanto one, you got the serrated one, then you got the Vaquero, then you're gonna need this one. But if you're not a knife nut and you're just like, I've got to buy a useful knife, you're gonna find a more useful knife than this, I'm sure. This is not the knife you're gonna want for utility purposes. This knife is totally just, I'm really good at knife fighting and I want to lacerate as many people as possible. And I'm pretty sure that guy over there under the bridge stole my wallet at the Whataburger. Alright, so what we're going to do, check it out. Of course, it's got the Grivix handle on here. It's got that typical Voyager grip to it. Just not going to go anywhere in your hand. It's a little bit rough for the daintier fingers out there. For me, it doesn't matter, especially since I lost feeling in my thumb arm wrestling. So, I can really grip down on that one. Awesome lanyard hole. Of course, I'm going to put something gigantic and awesome there with a humongous bead on there. Just a fun knife to carry. It's going to be just fun. That's pretty much your whole thing here. Triad lock, unbeatable triad lock, unbeatable lock. I forget how much poundage they put on this thing. 400 or 500 pounds. You could just nail in nails with this thing and it won't break on you. Dual thumb studs, like I mentioned before. I love that part of the Voyager, so you can hit it left-handed. And of course, it is left-right compatible with the clip. They give you the extra left clip there, so you're good to go there. The knife isn't anything that you haven't seen before besides this. So this is all ex-Voyager stuff. If you have Voyager, that pretty much is par for the course right there. You're going to be able to grab that beast here. You're going to be able to grab that beast back here, give you another couple inches on your reach if you have Tyrannosaurus linked arms like I do. But we're not going to do any knife fighting with it tonight. We are going to see how slicey it is. And we're going to do some other stuff to see what kind of use we can get out of this. And that's all we're gonna do. I just want to check it out with you. I'm super excited about this knife. If you're thinking about getting this knife, then get it. Because if you're thinking about it, then this is the kind of knife you like. If you like the other Voyagers, now if you're like, well, I got this use for this knife and I need that, there's seriously not any specific use that you're gonna really find for this knife. Unless it's like making shapes on a cake, you know, like you had to wave out the cake or the frosting. That's probably it. Or stabbing hobos. All right, so we're gonna go do a little bit of chopping and just different things with this. Excuse me. Spoke too fast, got a little air in my stomach. Now I got the hiccups. All right, let's do some other stuff with this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut up some potatoes for stew. And they just say you're out in the woods, this is what you brought. Let's see what we can do with it. So, look at that. It's going through the, I mean, it's not like you have to sit there and saw and find the right angle to make this work. You just got to get all the way through it. And then when you bring that down, it's cutting through what you want to cut through. See this? So look. So it's cutting through. It's kind of cool to be able to have a use for this knife. But look at that. So it's not a, like, oh, this is totally useless. This is making me feel good. So it's making me feel better about life. That this knife is not the greatest slicer. I mean, feels a little thick, but if you're in the woods, or this is what you want to take, you're not gonna feel bad when you're making, you know, wildebeest stew out there. And you got some wild jungle potatoes, which I'm not sure why you'd find jungle potatoes in the woods, but maybe you're like right there on the, anyways, knife is really good for slicing potatoes. Let's see what we can do with the onion here. See if we can make this thing work. Yeah, look at that. See, it's not a useless knife. It looks kind of weird, but I'm able to do the things I would want to do with a regular knife with it. Are there going to be more useful things? Certainly. Are they going to be as fun? No. You pull this out at the campsite, and it's fun to talk about. And it's a fun knife to look at, and not unexpected kind of thing. So let's see if we can get this all. I hate this. This is the worst job in the kitchen. That and touching avocados. All right, so there we go. There we go. Try that. Now, chopping this onion ain't going to be no dream. So you're going to probably come across. But it's still going to do it. Look at that. So you're still getting it. You're still getting the little pieces you want because the blades are cutting through here. And maybe if you got to bring that tip across a little bit. But that works. I'm really excited about that. See? So you're getting the full... It's not going to chop. You're not going to be able to chop like that. But you can definitely dice. See what I'm saying? All right, so there you go. That's really, really encouraging for this knife. So maybe we sold some more of these. Not that I'm getting any residuals. Cold steel, I'm just saying. You know, look what I'm doing for you. Maybe a Jimislash signature Voyager. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying maybe there's a petition out there. All right, so the KRIS Voyager does pretty cool in the kitchen. And you're going to see me do some brisket stuff with it later. Next or so. We'll find out how useful it is there. Alright. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if this Voyager KRIS can be any kind of use in the kitchen. Now, I got about 20 pounds of brisket and about 10 pounds of cutting board here. So, it's going to be kind of weird, but we're going to see what we can do. Now, I'm going to try not to be all stupid and crazy. I've been getting some comments that I need to settle down a little bit. So I'm just going to do some even like cuts like I did with the potatoes, and we'll see how it goes from there. All right? Let's see where we're going to start. What am I dying? Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my goodness, somebody's in trouble. Look at the way that goes through flesh. Look at this. Watch this. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Seriously. I'm just going to chop down right here. And then if he's pulled back, somebody's in such trouble. If you came across somebody's arm like that, oh my gosh, look at this. All the way through that thing. You know what? I know it's fun and exciting. But look how easy this is to cut through this meat. Look at that. Right there. This is a useful knife. I mean, it's big and weird looking. And the odd looking blade and whatnot. But as far as just being useful, it's useful. And that's exciting to me. I like crazy stuff. But if you can make the crazy stuff useful, why not? Look at that. That's awesome. Look at that. So sharp. This thing is so sharp. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Look at this. Watch this. Can you see this on the camera? This thing. Look at that. I'm going to just cut down the whole brisket here. Just the whole side of brisket. Just the barely little trimming on the bottom there. Look at that. So it's a useful knife. I know we just got into, like, I don't know, different things about how it's just kind of cool looking. I've told people before I got it, it was just, you know, the other Voyagers might be more useful. This is a useful knife. I can't see the other Voyagers being any more useful than this. Because look, it's going right through what you want to cut it through. It's super sharp. And it's not like you have to figure out what you're going to do because the blade is weird. It just goes right through it. This is exciting. Oh, I love exciting stuff like this. I love discovering stuff that's exciting. So now I can tell you that this blade is not only fun, but you can have a fun, useful blade. You can just like, God, but then you can use it in the kitchen, your camp kitchen, or whatever you want to do it with. This is a heck of a camp kitchen knife. I mean, indestructible. It's got that Grivix. Like, look at this. My hand, all this greasy and fatness and blood. And I got on this. And it's not going to slip out or nothing. I'm just locked in there. I might have to clean my knife, but holy heck, that was awesome. I'm so excited about this. Look at that. Just cuts right through this stuff. Very cool. Now, it's going to be a pain in the rear to sharpen if you don't have the right tools. But if you got a sharp maker at the house, or like one of those ceramic rods, like a little skinny one that you can just kind of run up there, learn how to do that. This thing's fun. It's a fun knife, and you know, I brought this out at arm wrestling practice last night, and everybody was, or a couple of dudes were really interested in it, the blade, the shape, and stuff like that, and the size of it. But it's very light. I don't know. I'm excited about this knife. I was excited about the Scout, and I still am because the Scout is awesome. But this is the kind of fun, useful, indestructible tool kind of knife. And now we've discovered it can be used as an actual, you know, kitchen knife or chopping knife. Now, I don't know what kind of application you're going to use it for out in the bush, besides cutting stuff down. But I mean, I'm sure it would cut through like small branches and stuff if you had to use that as a cover for your hut that you're making out of bare bones and old trees. You know, naked and afraid, and you're pretty much just all afraid, even though you're naked. I don't know how that's going to work out, but most of the time when I'm naked, I'm afraid. All right, there you go. This knife is awesome. It's super useful. I like the blade shape. Now that I know it's got some good uses to it, I'm definitely going to be carrying it. And who knows, I might even take it out in the field and test it on some stuff like this. What else can we do to this knife? This is a really cool knife. All right, we're almost done chopping up this brisket. Do a couple more slices just for the children at home. Just wipe this. Oh yeah, look at that. Right through it. All right, so there you go. Let's get back to the table after I wash this bad boy off, finish this brisket off, and we'll check it out some more. Squish. All right, so I'm gonna do, and get that fixed there. I'm gonna do one little really quick test just to see what we can do here and see if it's useful for, let's say, cutting cardboard and stuff. I don't know. I haven't done any of this, so I don't even know. This might be the worst thing ever for the KRIS Voyager. But it's not. Oh, look at that. You know what? This knife is so... Here's the deal. Are there more practical knives? Probably, definitely. That's not even a question that needs answering. Yeah, there's more practical knives. Are there funner knives that have practical uses though? Can you think of a funner knife than this big snaky AUS 10 5.5-inch blade? And the thing is, cutting through this cardboard with this big old blade and this big old handle gives you a lot of leverage. just slices through. Like I say, it's not, man, look at that. It works. It works for what you're gonna do with it. You're working in the warehouse, or you're working doing something, and everybody else is pulling out their razor blades, and you get to pull out this big old snake just to have fun. It seems like it'd be fun. It's a fun knife with practical uses. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's not super, like I said, the most practical knife. It's not the American Lawman or, you know, whatever, the paramilitary tube. But you're not going to have more fun with a knife than you are with this knife. Especially showing it off to people and having fun with it. Alright, so there you go. I think we've pretty much nailed this kind of knife, what kind of knife this is. Big, oversized, super strong. Practical use, definitely has practical uses in your camp kitchen, in breaking down boxes and cutting ropes and whatnot, stabbing people you don't like. Maybe somebody that's trying to hurt you. You wouldn't go around stabbing everybody you don't like, because then you go to where they don't let you have knives, and if you do have knives, you have to hide them in really uncomfortable positions and places. So, with that being said. This is a good knife. It's awesome. I highly recommend it to the people that like the big knives. And if you're a Voyager fan or a Recon XL fan or somebody like that, or the Espadas or the Talwars, you got to get this. It's really going to make your day. It's a lot of fun. And I've had all those knives, and I got a bunch of the big knives. And I can't think of anything that's more fun than this one. I can't think of one I'd want to carry more for what I do, which is just, you know, maybe cut some boxes. Maybe cut up some potatoes. I don't know how it's going to do it chopping down a tree or whatnot, but it has a lot of practical uses, and you're going to have a good time using it. I guess that's it. I'll talk to y'all later.